Hey everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to make 15 different no-sew tops for your stuffed animal, all made from one piece of fabric cut from an old t-shirt. There's a lot to get into, so let's get started. So like I said before, all you'll need is this strip of fabric cut from a t-shirt, and this is the bottom of a shirt my sister was trying to crop, so this was the leftover. It's about 5 inches thick, and it's best if it has a little stretch to it. I'm making this for a Build-A-Bear, but you can really do this for any stuffed animal with a large enough torso. So the first top I'm doing is just a simple tube top, and what I'm doing first is looping the fabric around her. And I'm just going to lay this front part as flat as possible and tuck in any raw edges. And once I do that, I'm going to take the rest of the fabric and just tie it in a knot on her back, just so it's tight and stays on. Now you don't have to do this next part, but I'm just going to flip the knot around so it doesn't stick out as much, and you're done. I just paired this with the high-waisted pants I made in a previous video. So this next one is very similar to the first one, except it has an infinity scarf too. So I'm doing pretty much the same thing I did last time, smoothing the front part over her chest. But now I'm going to twist the back loop and then just loop it over her head to make the scarf. And I'm just going to twist it a little to make it look nice, and that's your outfit. This next one is just a basic tank top, and to do that I'm starting the same way I did the last two. And then I'm just going to twist it in the back and loop it around the front like the infinity scarf. But now I'm going to tuck that loop into her shirt. And what's left, I'm just kind of pulling and folding to look like straps. So I'm just going to make this a little neater, and then you're done. I paired these with some white jean shorts that I'll show you how to make in a future video. This next one I'm calling the front twist, and to do this I'm just going to wrap the fabric around her twice. So loop it around twice, and then in the front I'm going to make an X with the fabric. So just like that, and then I'm going to actually twist it one more time. So now it's kind of twisted twice in the front. And now I'm just going to pull apart the sides to cover her top. And once I do that to both sides, you are basically finished. This next one is a cross tank. So to start, I'm going to loop this diagonally around her body. So from shoulder to hip on both sides to form an even bigger X than before. And I'm just straightening the two sides now, and I'm going to make the bottoms a little bit thicker and fuller, and I'm leaving the tops a little thinner because I think it gives it a better shape. And I'm going to keep doing that on both sides till I'm happy with the way it looks. Once you get it to the point you like, you are finished. This next one I'm calling the one shoulder short sleeve, and I'm making kind of a thick band and wrapping it from her shoulder to her hip. Then I'm going to twist the back once so I can pull it over her head, and I'm just going to try to cover this diagonal piece the best I can. So I'm just going to fold down the top so the edges are really neat, and I'm just going to flatten this into a pretty even band. And once I have it nice and smooth the way I want it, you are done. This next one is a one shoulder twist tank, and it's pretty similar to the last one, except when I put the fabric over her shoulder, I'm going to make sure I twist it first. And once I do that, I'm just going to loop it back around the front and then just cover the diagonal piece like I did with the last one. Once everything's tucked in nicely, I'm just going to go back and retwist that strap a little bit more. And then once you do that, you're done. This next one is called the loop through, and I'm starting by wrapping the fabric around her body in the shape of an X like we did for a previous top. And once I have that, I'm going to take the band around her shoulder and I'm going to switch it with the band around her body. This kind of makes it look like the top is looped through the straps, and that's why I called it the loop through. Then I'm just going to fluff out all the pieces until most of her torso is covered. And once I get it to how I want it to look, the top is done. This next one's super easy, and it's called the front bun, and I'm starting with my fabric already doubled up, so I'm not putting her inside the loop or anything. So I'm just wrapping the whole thing around her body, and now you have a loop on each side, and I'm just going to put them inside each other. So I'm doing this a few times until it forms a bun. And you'll see there's kind of an open space on one of the sides, so I'm just going to pull it apart and fluff it out until it kind of covers everything, and I'm going to do that to the other side so it's a lot fuller. And after that, you're done. This next one I'm calling the cinched top, and to do this I'm going to wrap the fabric around her twice, so I'm looping it over twice, then I'm just trying to flatten it out as much as possible. And once that's nice and neat, I'm going to take a little piece of yarn and I'm just going to tie it around right in the middle. So I'm actually going to flip it over so that the knot is on the inside so you won't see it. So I'm going to tie it a few times. And if you don't like how thick and kind of puffy it is, you can actually do the same thing I did for the tube top, and then you can tie the string around the middle of that. And that just gives a less chunky, bunched up look, so whatever you prefer. But when you're done, it'll look like this. This next one I'm calling the wrapped short sleeve, and I'm first doubling up the fabric so it's 2 loops, and I'm just wrapping that around her body. And I'm going to take this bottom loop and pull it up above her head. So once it's over her head, I'm going to fix this bottom part because this is the top, so I'm just flattening that out and making it neat. And then I'm just going to pull apart the sleeves so it kind of covers her shoulders more. And the last thing I'm doing is just folding the top a little bit just to make it less straight and give it a little more texture. And after that, your top is done. This next one is a 2-in-1 headband top, so I'm just going to take this neat band of fabric and just wrap it around her torso, and then I'm going to twist the back once and not pull it all the way over her head, just have it resting above her eyes. And I'm just going to twist this a few times to make it look like a headband. And after that, you are done. So I know this next one doesn't actually count as a top. It's actually a dress, but I wanted to show it anyways. To do this, I'm wrapping the full piece of fabric around her once, so now she's inside the loop, and I'm just folding down the top to be neat, and then I'm going to loop it in the back and pull it around the front, but I'm going to pull it a little bit lower, so right where that top piece ended, and I'm just going to pull that out and try to line up the stripes so you can't really tell where the bottom edge and the top edge meet. And then I'll just tuck in the bottom and just try to make it look very tight and neat, and after that, you're done. This next one is the second to last top, and it's a little more formal, so I'm calling it the Draping Off-Shoulder. And to start, I'm going to wrap the fabric around her once and create a very clean band around her front. Then I'm going to take the rest of the fabric and loop it over her neck. And now I'm just going to pull it lower and over her shoulders, and I'm just folding the straps over a few times to create very nice edges. And once it's all neat and you get the look you want, you're done. Now we've finally made it to the last top, which I'm calling the infinity twist. So I'm first wrapping the fabric around her twice. First, I'm flattening the fabric out tightest on her body, and I'll take that second loop and just pull it apart a little bit. And I'm just folding in that bottom edge that I don't want to show. And now, keeping this piece stretched out, I'm going to twist it in like this. So there's a twist right in the center, forming kind of an infinity shape. And once that's done, I'm going to tuck in that top edge and just kind of fix it until I like how it looks. And I'm going to pull down this under piece a little so you can't see it. And after that, your final top is done. And that was how to make 15 no-sew tops using 1 t-shirt scrap. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!